What's up, you guys? It's Jono! Today I spent a super crazy long day out at Cameron Park Lake just catching a ton of Dratinis and Dragonair. Now this is a crazy long video, but what you're gonna see here is all of my catches for the day. It's not all of them, but all my good ones. I parsed out all of the best catches: Dratini, Dragonair, Tentacruel, Clefairy, Jigglypuff, all my good catches, and they're in the order that I caught them. So this is the beginning of the day. I started out with a Magikarp. I started out showing off my buddy. I started out showing off my eggs that I'm going to hatch for the day. I'm going to hatch a series of 5K eggs and a series of 10K eggs. And I'm basically just showing off all of the gameplay that I had for today that was particularly interesting, and I decided to record on video. So a lot of people have asked me, instead of posting every single catch that I get, just take all the really good ones and post a video of the best ones, like my Dragonair. So I posted my Dragonair from earlier, but then take all the ones that are not quite as good and put them into a longer video that's edited and has all the catches put together. So this was all my catches from like 4 or 5 or maybe even 6 hours of gameplay today. I guess it was like 4 or 5 hours of gameplay today, and I've just put together the best catches, not like all my catches. So you're gonna see Tauros, you're gonna see Tangela, you're gonna see Dragonair, you're gonna see Dratini, a lot of Dratini. I caught so much Dratini today, and they're all in the order that I caught them. And I didn't want to talk the whole video because it is a long video, and I was getting kind of tired because I was walking so much today. So I'm just gonna let the video roll. You guys can see all my catches. I want to say thanks everybody for watching. Thanks to all my awesome subscribers, and check out all my catches for the day. And I'm not gonna narrate because I'm just way too tired because I was walking around so much. But it is a really good video, tons of great catches, and thanks everybody for watching. All right, peace.